CJ, can you walk us through the charter of the IWFS?
There are three, but the most important one is to promote a deeper understanding of the wines of the world and to help people appreciate them more. The second is to elevate the culinary arts. And the third is to bring together people who are like-minded in that they like to appreciate both food and wine.
And Nick, you guys have come to be famous for the wine crawl, which you began in 2011. You've had so many events since then. You even launched the champagne event. Can you tell us what has been your most successful or your most memorable collaboration to date?
First of all, I think it's because we started it for good reason. The reason is for wine education. We realized that people were a little afraid of wine, or a bit, I don't know, because they think it's expensive or it's just for people who are wealthy, which obviously that's so wrong, right? And that's why we started it, because we wanted a place for people to be able to go to and discover wines and realize that it doesn't cost much to buy a nice bottle of wine. From there you discover what you like and what you don't like, and then keep on following and keep going with the same, whether it's the same grape or the same region.
It started very, not at all ambitious. We had less than 100 people. We just had 4 wine merchants.
65.
And we would actually crawl or walk from one venue to the next. So it was, but we were so happy with the feedback, and it was such a casual environment.
On to wine selection and pairing. How necessarily do you select wines for each event?
Well, every month, or almost every month, we have a dinner for our members where we go to a certain restaurant, and depending on the cuisine, we'll try and look for wines. And it's always like, most of us, don't, our profession is not wine, but we're just aficionados, with a few of us in the membership who are real professionals. So we ask around, we ask our members for their suggestions, and that's how we do it.
But the other way of doing it also, and we've done it sometimes, is that if we have some really good bottles of wine, we'll take these bottles of wine, we'll go to a restaurant, and we'll ask the chef, okay, we have these wines, come up with a dinner that will pair, come up with food that will pair with these wines. Yeah. So in that case, that one is more wine-centric.
Can you tell us what has been your most memorable pairing?
There was a Pinot Noir that went with kare-kare.
For me also, but it wasn't Pinot. It was actually a light Italian. I can't remember. It was a Barbera d'Alba for barbecue of Toyo. Yeah, interesting.
I just remember, like last year when we did a dinner at Métis, and we, which is quite difficult because the flavor, if you know the flavors of Métis, is quite, there's a certain complexity. So it's Filipino flavors, Asian flavors, and quite difficult sometimes to describe and think about, no? But we, CJ, I remember we chose a certain French wine that was a little daring.
Yeah, it was a Juliana's.
Yes, and and we thought the smell was a little challenging, should I say?
It smelled like my Lola's aparador and boiled eggs.
There you go. But it went wonderfully with the flavors of the dish. Yeah. And so sometimes we took that's memorable to me because we took a risk, and it paid off for some, but not everybody enjoyed it. And it kind of sort of reminded us that wine and food pairings are really a matter of taste.
A matter of taste and preference.
What are the current trends in this industry you're most excited about?
More people are becoming interested in wines. Younger people too. And you can see that in the number of new wine merchants that have come out, the number of wine dinners that you see being promoted, the people who attend our wine crawl.
Yeah. Are there any particular wine regions or varietals that people should, take more interest in now?
It's moving up, I guess. So as we, bubbly, sparkling from the UK, and then
stuff from out of Japan.
Yes.
Wine, grape wines.
Before, right?
Yes.
And then
Yes,
now
even
China,
Yes, and even
Thailand. Yeah.
cradle of civilization. I mean, there's more happening in that part of the world,
Yes.
but mostly white wines, you know. But again, that's another trend, is that there are certain regions that were better known for white wines now producing reds. This is very, very interesting.
Yeah, so we've really gone beyond U.S., France,
Yeah.
Australia, Spain, Italy, you know,
Yeah.
and branched out to a lot more countries for us to discover, you know. So even if we've been doing this for a while, there's still so much we don't know.
How do you train your palate to detect the subtle nuances in the different wines?
Practice.
Practice.
Drink.
And remember, taste, like if you've never eaten a blueberry before, you taste a fresh blueberry, you know, try to remember what it tastes like, it smells like, even just like grass. You know, a lot of white wines are described as grassy.
Grass, yeah.
So,
Petrol.
smell, taste, remember.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone new to the world of wine?
Any opportunity you have, even if it's you don't like the smell of it, it's still okay, better to taste it, because then you now have that memory of, okay, I didn't like that, and and the
Yes.
smell that you smelled matched the taste, right? So same advice. It's really just keep trying.
What do you see are the biggest challenges facing the wine industry today, overseas and right here at home?
Climate change.
Climate change.
Definitely climate change. I mean, it's a good thing for some people because, as we said, since the band is moving north, where regions that weren't producing wines before now can produce wine because
It's not as cold
not
as it used to
cold.
be.
But then for traditional wine regions, it's very challenging for them. Can you imagine always having to second guess when it's time to harvest? Is it right? But then they also have a lot of technology to help them now with, you know, measure the sugar in the grapes and all of that. But yeah, I think that really is the biggest challenge.
Okay.